Welcome back to Onyx Storm Times, you guys.
Yay.
We are here to break down the ending. This is our third episode, and wow, we are so excited to be here. We cannot wait to dive into the ending and just like generally the end of this book that has taken over all of our lives and our hearts and our minds. But first, Kim, let's shout out some patrons.
Let's do it. Okay, so we are going to be shouting out some of our tier 2 book betches today. And today's shout outs goes to Trista M., Starlight Book Nook, Julia Bolton, and Yesenia Solis Acevedo. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. I know.
Book
Isn't that so fun?
Yeah.
That is.
But yes,
we
thank
love you
all
guys so much.
Y'all are the bestest, and we're so grateful to you guys. And I just still can't believe that we get to do this for a living. It's the craziest thing in the world.
It's the best thing ever.
It is the best thing ever. Thanks to you. We're just so grateful to you every day. Every day.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so spoiler warning for here on out for All Things Empyrean, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Let's dive in.
in.
Where we left off our heroes from our last episode, Violet wakes up after Indarna has left. Taryn has opened himself up to her to give her comfort. Mira and Brennan have it out, which we discussed, I think, in part 1 and part 2 of our episode. But the biggest thing to come out of the family disagreement is that Mira finds out that Xaden is Venin, and she is pissed. I mean, I would be pissed too.
Yeah,
poor Mira.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I think it's a triggering situation for her to feel like she's in the dark.
Yep.
And this is a feeling of betrayal. Her brother was dead, but not dead. Her father was keeping secrets. Mama's keeping secrets. And now Violet, her like trusted, listen, I thought we were big sis, little sis. I thought we were stronger.
Gets an extra jab that Brennan knows. Like if they, you know, that
because
Brennan
listeners,
knows feels
one thing we
pointed.
forgot to mention is that
Kristina.
Xaden actually went to Brennan and told him himself, which that
kudos to you, Xaden.
That's kudos to Xaden for doing that and being like, I need you to help me because he's a mender. Brennan's a mender. And they've basically been working in secret. And he's like, I didn't want to get your hopes up, Violet. And kudos to Brennan for not freaking turning him in. Yeah. Because he's got a little Dain in him, I feel like sometimes. He's very rigid
absolutely.
with the rules.
Very rigid. Yeah.
Well, I think he owed him from not turning him in for being alive the first time. Like he kept that secret first.
Touche.
You know?
Touche.
Yeah, that's true. Touche. Okay, so that's where we left off.
Yep.
Kristina, can you talk like the multiple POVs that Rebecca introduced at the ending of this book?
Yes.
Absolutely. One of our favorite pieces of this book, really, is that we got multiple POVs. We were all kind of expecting maybe a Xaden thrown in there because that's what we're used to. But getting Imogen and Rhiannon was such a treat. We all, I think, read that top of the chapter. I'm like, what? It was so much fun to read. So, and we also found out from our night with Rebecca, you know, our night. She sat with us on the couch.
Just us.
From our evening in New York seeing Rebecca speak, that Rebecca had to fight for these POVs, which is so interesting. And I love this. I love that this is something she chose to fight for, to whether that be her editor or whoever. But this was important, and we found it important. It was so helpful, and it gave us this insight that we didn't even know we were missing. We were so happy with our dragons that we get to see all the time on page, but we didn't even think about really how wonderful and broadening to the world it would be to experience the other dragon relationships on page. And it really helped humanize the dragons. It allowed us to see the inner workings of how the group dynamic works. You know, like while everything is happening in our normal everyday life with Violet, all these conversations are happening. Rhiannon's talking to her dragon. Riddick and Atrum are sparring. You know, it's like everything is happening also at the same time around us. And this was a really fun insight into that. And I think, oh goodness, one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking moments of this book was Quinn's death and seeing that from Imogen's point of view. I think it was so smart to put it from Imogen's point of view because it was way more impactful than it ever could have been anywhere else. You know, getting to see this conversation and the inner monologue of Imogen. I'm going to read it and I'm going to try compartmentalize so I don't cry. Okay, here we go.
You can do
it. I can do it.
Pull out those acting strings.
Yeah. Honestly,
I feel like that's what makes you cry even more. Is like you just feel it.
Yeah.
And it loves to give me the sexy things and the crying things. So,
sorry, I didn't mean to do that this time. I'm so sorry. I do get a kick when you read the sexy scenes. It does secretly make me.
I'm glad I can bring you joy. Okay, so, all right, Quinn, my voice shatters. Don't go. Don't leave me. I beg, wiping another tear as my vision blurs and clears. You're my best friend, and I love you. Please stay. This is not how she ends. Not in some dark stairwell in Drathis. It can't be. I'm the one who's supposed to fall. She's supposed to live forever. You're mine, and I love you too. Her smile slips, and another tear falls. I'm I'm scared. God. I don't want to be scared. My face twists, but I mask it. Don't be scared. I shake my head and force a smile. My mom will take care of you. And Katrina, too. She's a little bossy, but she'll be thrilled to have another little sister. I talk about you all the time. They'll know who you are. Don't be scared. Her next breath is strained and watery. They'll know me. I nod. They'll know you, and they'll love you. It's impossible not to love you. Imogen, she whispers, and her eyes flutter shut. I'm right here, I promise, but I can't force the words any louder as my throat closes. We made it a good one. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, God.
Okay,
That's just...
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's hard. It's really hard when she says, I don't want to be scared.
Yes, that's what got me, too.
That's what got me. It's so real.
It's so real.
You know, like, it's really hard to read. And then at the end when she says, we made it a good one... And that's what Quinn says to her, Imogen, when they go on the parapet for the first time. Quinn says, let's be friends. And Imogen's like, well, we might not last long here in the writer's quadrant, basically. And Quinn's response is, well, then let's make it a good one. A good friendship.
Oh, God.
She says we made it a good one.
It's devastating. And something about her saying they'll know me. And she's like, I talk about you all the time. As in, like, she's talking to her mom and her sister who are dead, like, about Quinn. It's just like, I can't.
It's so devastating. You so feel for Imogen. She's such a closed off, like, tough cookie, hard shell kind of person. And you see her be so soft with Quinn. And it's devastating that she has lost that person that she feels like she can be her truest, like, softest self with. And your heart just aches for her because she's losing her best friend. And it's just so sad.
And her one person, you know? I mean, like, that she's like this with.
I think it's interesting and a good writing choice on Rebecca's part to showcase other writers losing people, not just Violet. Because I think it humanizes those people, but also shows how war and battle doesn't just affect the main character, right? It affects all the side characters and how that's going to affect them going forward.
Yes.
100%. It's such a beautiful building block. Yeah, going forward. Yeah. Oh, God. It's just so well done. It's so well done. The thing that happens in this scene that is important to note is we do see Imogen wield a second signet. It's unclear what this is called, the exact intricacies and how it works, but pretty much what happens is she's saving Dain's life by transforming a shield into rock. So whether that's like she can change things into rock, whether she can pull rock out and like morph it into something else, we're not sure. It's some sort of wielding, and it's very cool and seems very helpful. And it's fun now that she's introduced this. Marked ones are able to have the second signet that we can get these reveals, and they feel like they make sense in the universe. So props, and I love it.
I love it.
Yeah. Do we think Bodhi's gonna have one? We don't know. Stay tuned for more on Bodhi, but I think so. Yeah.
Oh, our sweet Bodhi.
Oh, Bodhi.
Okay.
Anna, let's talk about the gods.
Yeah. The other thing Rebecca introduced way more in this book, which has obviously been very prevalent since we visited all these isles named after the gods and goddesses, are the gods and goddesses. Like this aspect of this world that has only really barely skimmed the surface of in Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. And she said in the interview that we went to in New York that she is really laying the groundwork for books 4 and 5 with this. She said it's not based off of any one specific religion. It's basically just what came to her and what she wanted to put down on paper. I think I'm really interested to see where this goes in the next few books. I'm always a little wary when we introduce gods and goddesses. But so far, I am really enjoying the way it is because it feels a little bit more like omnipotent, I guess. Like they're not necessarily here with us, but it's more of how it's treated by the people around them in the temples and the priestesses. And I'm really intrigued by that. So I'm curious to see where we go with all of that. And like we said in the previous episode, when we were island hopping, the only island we haven't visited is the island that's dedicated to the goddess of love. And what does that mean?
What does that mean?
That's amore.
That's amore. Choose amore.
Okay,
Choose amore. I think let's see how that goes. And how they're doing right now is good. I don't want to see them on page. I don't want to sit at the dinner table and have her have to talk to Dune and Malik.
Yeah, the dedication aspect of it and the fact that Violet has been, quote, touched by the gods is going to be very interesting going forward.
I agree.
Thank you, Anna. Perfect. Let's just maybe quickly summarize some things that happen next, okay? Let's set the stage for this final battle, where we are, what's going on. All right, guys, here we go. Essentially, Violet dreamwalks again and finds out that Mira's been kidnapped. Mira's been kidnapped. She's being held for ransom, as are all the innocent people in this city of Dreythus. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so in this dream, Berwin, our sage friend, demands that Violet come along with Xaden's, quote, brother, okay? At first, me, the person who still thought that Bodhi is his brother, I was like, this is the reveal? This is what we're waiting for? They're brothers?
Yes.
No, lies. So turns out it's not Bodhi, even though everyone else also thinks it's Bodhi. Thank you. It's actually Jack, which, like,
I was like,
Christ,
God
I forgot
damn
about
it,
him
really?
again.
Fucking really?
Why are they bringing him back?
Why are we bringing him?
He comes back for a second, too. Like, he's just like, and we're back in a box, and we're leaving in a box.
And we're leaving.
The whole thing with him bebopping in the box and then bebopping back out was, like, really frustrating to me because he still didn't die. Let's also keep that clear. The end of Onyx Storm has happened and he's still fucking alive, but okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, so yes, they want Jack. We also get to see Brennan be this brilliant strategist that we've only heard tale of before, and he is good at it, guys. I understand where this comes from with him. He speaks some really hard truths to Violet. Pretty much he's like, part of being a good leader is having trust in your people. You have to make hard decisions, but also you can't save everyone, okay? You gotta trust your squad, and we have to trust everyone to do their own job so you can do yours well.
Because what is it?
War times!
War times.
More times. Okay. Also, something interesting to note here is an exchange between Xaden and Bodhi. More on Bodhi later, but I just want to read this quick thing here. He has been prepping him for this worst case scenario when he goes full venom, and Bodhi will theoretically become Duke of Tyrandor. He's said it so many freaking times throughout this book. But this one in particular, in this moment, Bodhi says, I'm not your backup plan. You're the Duke. I'm the rider. That's how it's always meant to be until our parents got themselves executed. I will stand by your side and be your right fucking hand for the rest of our lives. But if you want a member of our family to hold that seat, he points to the throne, you'd better hold your own shit together. Interesting. Okay. More on that later. Kim, take us
back. Okay. So we get to Dreythus. Everyone is in position. It very quickly goes to shit, and Theophany is pissed and slits Mira's throat. Y'all, I thought we were about to lose that bet to Fantasy Fangirls, and I was like, God damn it, no! But we didn't. We won.
Turns out we won.
Whoop, whoop.
Get ready, Fantasy Fangirls.
Right. Get ready. Yeah, we've got some fun things coming your way. So Mira is bleeding out, but all of a sudden, Sloane and Dain arrive. Yay! So helpful.
Also the hottest moment of the book. So
I'm about to get there.
That's a lie. That's blasphemous. It's one of our favorite moments of the book.
One of them.
Literally. Yeah. Exactly. Which, who knew one of our favorite moments would be a Dain scene?
Not me.
Not me.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not
no
us.
one's bingo card.
No.
And
so Sloane has a note from Auric to Violet, and Violet's like, oh my God, he's having her deliver mail in war times, and tucks it in her pocket. And I'm like, Violet, if you don't pull that fucking piece of paper out and tell me what is on that. She's literally like, wait for later. No, not later. Now.
It's literally a first year flying through battle. And you didn't think Dain is like, this fucking first year had to give you this fucking package.
Yes.
Like what?
What?
And we're like, oh, that can't be important. Carry on.
She's like, oh my God, mail in the middle of a battle? Why do we think that is, Violet? Do we think there could be a potential reason? Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But, okay, so Brennan is mending Mira, but he is burning out trying to mend her because she is very near death.
Yes.
Sloane is obviously a siphon, but she has been terrified to use her powers ever since Lilith died, helping to erect the Wardstone at the end of Iron Flame. Obviously, Sloane is like, no, all I do is help people die and bring destruction. I'm scared to use my signet. And we've seen this earlier in the book where she doesn't want to train her signet, and Dain is like, train your fucking signet. And they have a moment, and we were so into it.
She blushes, and it's hot, and he's like, train your signet.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. And we all know Dain signet is not needed in battle because he has to be touching someone's face, which, like, that's not going to happen in a battle. So, like, TBD, Dain is, like, really sort of useless in battle if we're being quite honest with ourselves. Like, I'm sure he's a great, like, battler just in general, but, like, really, what do you bring to the table in a battle?
Sir.
That's a great point, Kim.
Signet-wise.
Fantastic point.
Especially because they can't fight hand-to-hand combat on the ground.
With venom. Right, exactly.
With the venom.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So, like, really useless. But you know what? He says, no, I will find a way to be useful. And so he encourages Sloane to siphon Dain's magic into Brennan to give Brennan power to, like, finish mending Mira. Okay. Sloane puts her hand on Dain's arm, and she looks at him and she says, someone like you shouldn't have this much power.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What?
So something about this strikes me as like, what would Sloane know? And I don't understand what it is. There's literally zero way this could happen. But something how Sloane says someone like you shouldn't have this much power. Do we think Dain has a second signet somehow? Because she would be aware of like marked ones are allowed to have that. You're not a marked one. How do you have this much like power? Like how do you have like
Oh, okay.
I don't know how she would know that, but it just feels weird that she's like what would she know that she's like, you're not one of us. You're not like that. Like you're not a marked one.
Okay, but also go ahead, Anna.
No, I was just gonna say I took it as like someone like you, meaning like his power is just to look into someone's mind, and is it stronger than that? Is there more to it?
Yes, maybe that's it.
Than we realize.
Okay, but you guys, Rebecca at one of her book tour chats, I think, I saw a video where someone was like, who would win in a battle, Dain or Lilith? And Rebecca says Dain immediately. And then she says Dain versus somebody else. And immediately she says Dain. Like without hesitation. And I'm like, he would beat Lilith?
What does
the
that
general mean? Of like General Lilith Soaringa? Literally she goes, Dain. And then it's like Dain versus somebody else, maybe Jack or something. And I can't remember. I'm sorry. And she literally immediately goes, Dain.
Okay, that coupled with this line of someone like you shouldn't have this much power means there's way more to Dain's signet than we know.
Because she's
100%.
saying like in a battle, in a fight, Dain would win over, I know it was Lilith and I want to say it was Jack. Or I'm sorry.
And like you just said, how is his signet useful in battle? It's not. He can't touch them.
That's literally what she said. And I was like,
and wouldn't it
so
be
sorry. What?
So like Daddy Aetos to hide something, like, to keep something from him, to convince him that this is all his signet does, and really he's keeping that for his own, like, you know, like he knows something.
Yeah.
Him and Carr and Melgren and all these evil guys are like, no, just tell him this is his signet. Train him on this. He doesn't need to know the rest.
Yes.
There's something else. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
There's something. This is very, very interesting. And I think we are going to get to see a lot more of Dain in books 4 and 5.
Agreed.
God, don't I hope so.
No, God, don't I hope so.
don't I know it.
Don't I know it.
Okay, so speaking of that, Sloane is really doubting herself. She's scared. She's like, I can't do it. Like, I'm scared. And Dain goes, eyes here.
I can't. Like, literally, I can't believe I thought he was garbage trash whore.
Garbage
and
trash
now
whore.
I'm
And
like,
now I'm
eyes
like,
here. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Something
Yes,
about the
sir.
eyes here is
It's so hot.
I'm unwell. Like,
I'm unwell.
It's a feral puddle level. Like I'm real feral for this. We're a puddle. Like something about the eyes here. And it's in this intense moment. And he's looking. He's like, eyes here. I was like, oh wow, it's happened. It's officially happened. We're to shift over fully to Dain. Like
I agree.
We're on board.
So he's like, eyes here. And Sloane looks his way. Pull from the excess you feel in me and push the deficit in him. You're not a weapon of destruction. You're not venom. You're the artery power chooses to flow through your life. Ooh. And Sloane says, I'm going to hurt you. And Dain says, Gods don't I know it. But you're not going to kill me no matter how badly you want to. Now do it.
Do it. Yes, sir. Sir. The way that Kim and I took this as Gods don't I know it. And Anna took it as like, Gods don't I know it. Let's go.
I was so literal. I was like, yes, it's going to hurt. She's literally siphoning power. Dain, suck it up. It's war times.
Yeah. And Kim and I are like, Gods don't I know it.
Like,
well, now that's all I can think.
You're going to ruin me, Sloane. Like, don't I know, but it's going to be worth it. Like,
I love how, like, you guys, I'm like, it's literal. And you guys are like, we're in the middle of a battle and we're feeling sexy things.
Yeah, but it's
I was like,
sexy.
The romance. This is the beginning of their love story. This is it. We're seeing it unfold.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I have to say, Rebecca Yarros has pulled off a god tier redemption arc from Dain Eyes. I have 100%. Never seen a redemption arc like this in any book I've ever read.
No.
We hated him in Fourth Wing. Hated him.
Remember all the merch, all the bookmarks, all the stuff people were making, like Dain's tears, like Dain being a little bitch again, like all this stuff, and now everywhere on TikTok it's like eyes here Aetos, like eyes here Dain Aetos.
Eyes here Aetos, like
I mean obsessed.
Like honestly, bravo, Rebecca. Like this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we save Mira. However, Violet notes something interesting after Mira is saved. Sloane had her hand on the back of Brennan's neck and on Dain's arm. She had to have 2 points of like physical contact with their bodies to siphon, right? And this is what Violet notes. Weird. There's no mark at the back of his neck like Brennan, carries on his palm. There hadn't been one on Dain's wrist either. What?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone help me break this
I
down,
have
'cause
so
I'm not
many
sure.
thoughts on this. So we know that Brennan has a mark. We've all speculated about it. We think it probably came from Naolan when Naolan was siphoning and trying to resurrect or save Brennan's life, right?
Yep.
And we think that the rune is probably because Naolan was channeling directly from the source, from the ground, to like replenish himself, because there was nobody there to siphon from. It was just him and Brennan. He can't siphon from anybody else.
Right.
And
So
we
he
think
took
they
that-
loved each other. So
And we think they loved each other. And actually, what Rebecca said in an interview is, why else would somebody die for somebody else? Like, what are those reasons? And she leaves it open-ended, but I'm like, love.
Love.
Like, love. It's
But-
why Xaden turned.
I was going to say, but the same hope we have for Xaden, that he turned for love, therefore he can be altered, he can be changed, is what you turn for. Is that the same for Naolan? Is Naolan still alive? And we're going to have him have this.
Yeah, so my theory, when Naolan was brought up, she really made it seem like he was dead. But we know she didn't do like a sneaky thing, like, wouldn't you like to know? Or, well, let's wait and see. She really talked about him like Naolan was dead. And I think the reason why, the one time Naolan is brought up in this book is Taryn, the amount of despair that he sends down the bond to Violet is so strong. And he's like, we don't speak about the one who came before. But we have never seen that much despair. And so now I'm wondering, I think what happened is Naolan turned to save Brennan, and Taryn had to kill him because he turned venom. Or Naolan said, you have to kill me. I'm not going to live this life. I don't want to be this person.
Right. Naolan may have asked for it as well. Yeah,
Naolan may have asked for it, and that's why Taryn almost died. It's not because his rider died. It's because he had to do it. But the thing is how do you kill a venom if the fire doesn't kill them?
Exactly. How do you do that?
I don't even want to know the lengths that we had to go to do it.
The words we've heard used is desiccated.
Desiccated. Right, but he can't.
I know, he'd have to physically. Yeah, I don't even know.
like that.
Yeah.
But that also, he's really mad at Sigale after Xaden turns, and I wonder if the reason Mommy and Daddy were fighting is because he was like, you didn't make that hard decision I had to make.
Another piece here, I can't remember now, but when we go through the timeline of Brennan, right, where he like tells us what happened to him in book 2, and he's like, oh yeah, and then explains, then they get taken to the Vale, and then this and this happened, and the dragons, and like whatever, and he ended up here in Eratia. Isn't there a piece where like Naolan didn't think he actually did it? He thought that Brennan died. I feel like there's a piece I'm remembering where Naolan didn't know that he
Had saved Brennan?
had saved him.
I
I feel like he's still dead on the ground. It's not like Brennan woke up and could watch everything that happened to Naolan. I don't know.
Brennan, when I went back and reread the scene in Fourth Wing, when they learn about it in Battle Brief, I think.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, that's
Oh, well, like what Brennan says is he never says he died. He said he gave everything.
Okay.
And that's the end of the conversation. And then in Battle Brief, they talk about how Naolan saved Brennan's life.
Right. Interesting. Sorry. Okay.
No. I'm curious too.
Yeah, it is very curious. It's a very
the other thing
curious
that
situation.
Rebecca kind of laid to rest, sort of, was that she was like, you guys, because people were like, is Brennan sus? I think was the question. And what she said was, guys, he freaking mends people. Every time somebody needs him, he's there.
Yeah.
She said he's a dick for letting people think he was dead, but basically he's not sus. And everyone was like, what about orange dragons? And she goes, you guys are so mean to my orange dragons. She said she thinks of them as ADHD representatives of dragons. And
That's so funny.
She was like,
Yeah, it is.
Brennan and Imogen both are so rigid, and that's why they bonded the orange dragons, because they put them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I love
And she was
that.
like, they're not all bad, guys.
Yeah,
was
I
basically
love
what she said.
that.
So, which was interesting.
I like
and
it.
I'm kind of glad that she's just like putting things to rest.
I love that for one.
It's what we need. She knows us as a fandom. She knows we'll spiral. She's got to cut it off
Exactly.
somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we love to
I
see
agree.
it.
Okay, so moving on, we have Theophany again.
Oh God.
Okay,
little
so
stalker
Theophany-
that could.
The little stalker that could. I think I can.
I
Okay,
can't
so
stalk. I can
Theophany
do it.
shows up. Well, she's been there for a while because Mira. But we have two significant battles that happen, and they kind of get broken up because of the different POVs, right? So in the first one, Bodhi and Violet are together. But it turns out that for whatever reason, Bodhi's signet does not work on Theophany. Whether that's just Theophany or all Venom, a little unclear at this point. It's not explained beyond that.
Yeah.
So Cure, his dragon, Violet's like, you have to get out of here. Like, you are useless.
Yeah, you're a liability at this point.
You're a liability, and you're the heir. And so,
Right.
and he's fighting back. He's like, no, I'm supposed to be here. And
Yes.
Cure's like, yeah, no shit. I'm pulling
Yeah.
you. And he like, literally, he's like,
Yeah.
nope, we're going.
Thank
He
you,
yoinks
Cure.
him with her
Love it.
claws and flies away.
Yep.
So we have Theophany, and there's a couple things that she says that are really interesting. Okay, I'm going to read both of these. She talks about like magic requiring a balance. It's the oldest rule there is. But once a century or so, we get a chance to skew the scales in our favor, and I will prove myself to him this time. Then she says this, a weapon like you, talking to Violet, a weapon like you will only submit to someone stronger. So come, let's get this farce over with so you can begin your real journey. He's waiting.
See, this is why I think
smile. But hold on. Then Violet asks Berwin, and then she responds with, Theophany says, as if I would answer to that fool, I think not. So who is this him?
Who is this him?
I see. This is why I think it's bigger than just Andarna. I think she's important too.
I
They're
agree.
looking for her. Like she has to be trained, not Andarna. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like it's both of
There's
them
something
together
more.
for sure. But this is like there is someone. There's a he, and this is I think goes back to why in that thing from Cosmo that the sages, not even important people, like they're sages, we're pretty sure they were like, no, we need her,
can't harm
not
her.
her.
Yes.
Like she's like I don't know. There's another person, another being that we haven't met yet.
That's higher than Theophany and Berwin.
Yeah. That's older. I mean, Theophany says there are those that are older and stronger than me.
So
and maybe
it could
that's General Daramore.
I was about to say it could still be General
Could still be
Daramore.
Daramore. Could still be Daramore.
I don't. Guys,
okay.
This is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
we
is.
have a couple, there's some POVs that happen, and then we get back to Violet, and her and Taryn are having to fly after Theophany, because Theophany does her poof, be gone
Yep.
thing. And so Annette gets thrown over Taryn. They fall to the ground. Oh my God. It's really sad. Like, Violet's like, we're about to die, and but they're fine. They survive.
Yep.
And Theophany is there waiting. And
course.
Violet finally remembers the pack. Like, oh, y'all.
Oh, God.
Her being like, please hold. I forgot I have mail to open.
Hold on, Theophany. Actually, I do need to open this piece of mail.
Hold on. Yeah, if I'm gonna
Hold that
die, I
thought.
better know what this says.
And
Yeah.
Theophany's like, oh yeah, sure. No, go ahead. No.
Sure. Yeah, okay, I'll wait.
I do love that Theophany's like, I love a letter. So like,
Yeah.
I love.
I love a cryptic letter.
Yeah.
Let's read it
that's
together.
my jam. So I like this for you. Go ahead.
Okay. So there are
God, I
two
love
notes in the package. Okay. The package contains a ceremonial dagger from the Temple of Dune, made from the temple itself.
Yep.
Okay. There's two notes. One note is directly from Arik to Violet, and it says, strike in the dark, Violet. Okay. And she's like, well, that's weird and cryptic.
Yeah.
Because, nobody can just say,
Nope.
BT dubs, I'm a precog, strike in the dark.
Strike in the dark, and then you'll know what it means when you get there. Okay.
So no,
Strike
but
in
then
the dark is still too. Okay.
I know.
Yep.
So then there's a priestess message that was addressed to Arik, okay, but it's still in there. And it says, a gift from one servant of Dune to another. I must warn you, only those touched by the gods should wield their wrath. I will pray to her, meaning Dune, because H is capitalized. I will pray to her that she need not use it to avoid reacquainting herself, Violet, with the other who curries her favor. The path is still not set. Because remember, the priestess said we cannot fully dedicate those whose paths are not chosen and fully set. That we can see.
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
But the priestess
Fascinating.
insinuates that Violet is also touched by another god.
She
She says, to avoid reacquainting herself.
with the other who
Other
curries
who
her
curries
face.
her favor.
Which,
Yeah.
Oh, I did not read this at all. I think I was in stress mode. This is the first time hearing of this. Like, what?
It almost feels like yes, she was touched by Dune. And that exists as a path. But it
Yeah.
also feels like there's another god who is actively handling her fate, like handling what's happening to her and inner workings into how her story plays out.
Yeah.
But the reacquainting is like, so she's
Yeah.
met said god
Right,
before.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, which to me, I always go back to Malik for some reason.
That's-
Like the amount
yes.
of times that Violet has been, I don't know, she's not necessarily near death, but she's had all of these people die near her. I don't know. There's just something. I don't know.
Does this go back to the illness? Like, is it like she would have died?
Maybe.
somehow
Did Malik
as a
save
baby,
her
and
or
Malik
something?
stepped in,
Yeah.
and therefore was a part of her path before she even got
Oh,
went to
yeah.
Yeah,
Dune. I don't
interesting.
know.
Or because
What?
we know that Lilith contracted an illness when Violet was still in
Right.
her
Yeah.
belly, in her womb.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did Malik step in then prior to Violet even being alive? Did he really help save Lilith?
She has a bigger problem.
Because bigger
yes,
prophecy.
prophecy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe maybe that's why Lilith got so mad that Asher almost dedicated her to Dune, because she was like, blah, 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 what are you doing? Malik helped save me. Malik is the reason that Violet made it out of me alive. And you are going to royally piss him off if you go dedicate her to another god.
It's like, what have you done? Like, she literally says, like, what have you done?
What have you done? And she's horrified and she's so upset. And is that because potentially Malik, for some reason, because Violet is obviously a chosen one. I think we can all agree on that.
100%.
Did Malik step in to save Violet via Lilith?
Right.
And then that's why Lilith is horrified by being like, no, there's nothing to fix. You don't need to fix her. This is because Malik stepped in and is like, she will still have some kind of illness. She will still not be 100%, but I'm going to save her.
Temple minded, like it could go one of two ways, right? All of a sudden you're like,
oh
super
my God,
dedicated, like you're super, religious, or is she terrified of bringing Violet near a temple?
That's what I think it is.
That's what it is, I think.
Why else would Rebecca put that line in there about her mom not being temple minded?
Yes.
Because you know what she says? Theophany then says this because Violet brings up the temple to distract her because she realizes that Dune, that Theophany was a priestess of Dune before she turned Venin.
Yes.
And she says, she asks her, do you not feel the pull? Do you not miss going to temple? And what Theophany says is, do you know the pain of never being allowed to return, of knowing that it would sever the very thing that's kept me untouchable all these years? I wonder if there's an aspect of when you are dedicated, if then going to another temple, like Dune and the goddess of love are the two ones that can only allow full dedication. Like once you're dedicated to them, you're dedicated to them. That's it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's something like, that's what was so scaring Lilith so much, is like, we already had a god step in.
Yeah, we can't, this is betrayal. This is like double crossing.
And
we
know
will
that
all,
the goddess, they're wrathful.
They're wrathful.
That's why she kills her. That's why she's able to kill her with the thing.
Yes.
With the thing, because she,
Yes.
So that's why she was able to kill her with the dagger of Temple of Doom, because Theophany betrayed the goddess. She turned Venin.
I think this is really interesting. And what does Lilith call her illness in the first book? Like a curse or like a...
Yes, she calls it a curse.
A curse.
She specifically calls it a curse, yes.
Yeah, so isn't that something that you now thinking about? A god has cursed you. Malik was like, okay, sure, I'll bring her to life, but this illness is a piece of it.
But at what
like,
cost?
You know what I mean?
Maybe that's the cost of it.
Magic requires a balance.
Exactly.
I'll bring her back to life, but this is the piece. And then...
Is that why they want her? Is the Barrens, if the Barrens are the land of Malik, if she's touched also by Malik...
Interesting.
Is she somehow, this goes back to like her being immune somehow to the venom, or like it would be different for her because she was touched in utero?
Yes.
Oh, guys, I don't know, we're spiraling.
This is
we're
fun.
spiraling.
This is fun. All right.
Okay, this is fun.
We'll
This is fun. Okay, so Xaden's POV is happening simultaneously to Violet fighting Theophany. And so his shadows are going crazy right now because he's trying to save Sigil. And so this is when she realizes that Arik is a precog and that he said strike in the dark because all of the shadows are there. And she's been training on that mat with Xaden and his shadows. And she freaking goes for her, and Darna shows up. She's back, lady. I still don't get how she knew to come back.
And how she got there so fast, but fine.
How she got there so fast. But she's there, and we're going to just fantasy reasons go with it right now.
Yeah.
And Theophany looks at her, and she says, Irid. Theophany whispers with reverence, straining toward Andarna. And that's when Violet lunges and stabs her in the heart. Fire breathes through me until I am char and cinder in agony. And Theophany is, quote, desiccated, which we know is like a husk.
Can't come back from that.
The fact that we've looked up desiccated and talked about it so much in this book is actually, it's alarming. But it's true.
Quite a bit.
We know it's a husk, and we
know it's a husk.
Happy about it.
So that's what happens with Theophany. She's dead and gone.
Yep.
And I wish we had asked a few more questions.
Yep.
Wish we had a little sat down and chatted.
I don't know. She might be, we'll see. You know? Can
Are
you walk a dead
you
venom?
pulling
I don't know.
Anna?
Are you pulling a show me the body?
Show me the body.
I'm pulling it, Anna. Show me the body.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
We don't know how venom die. Maybe her
rubbed
spirit's
off
just
on
gonna
you.
pop into another person. We don't know.
That's right.
She could dream walk. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't even know her real name.
Listen,
guys.
if she's
There's too
touched by
much.
Malik, god of death, maybe she can dream walk into the dead.
Maybe.
Oh, that would be
I love that.
real interesting.
That'd be real interesting.
So just a few things we learned from Xaden's POV here. Okay, so like Xaden's POV is happening simultaneously, as Anna said. Pretty much, yes, Sigale is ensnared in this net, and it's rough. And we do see Xaden be like, she is the first one that believed in me and loved me, and like I have to get her out. And it's so sweet to hear him have these, we know he feels these feelings for Sigale, but to hear him, have him say it and we hear his thoughts. I'm so happy this was from his POV so we could really understand that depth of the love for Sigale that we knew, but it's just fun to see. Okay, so we get okay, so Berwin. All right, so pretty much we find out that Berwin is, for lack of a better term, like his venom maker. If you're a vampire and you have a maker that turns you, pretty much that's what happens when you're venom, which is confusing because the way you turn venom is you channel from the ground. So your maker doesn't actually do anything to you. It's kind of like your guide, your sage, for lack of a better term. But it is interesting how they stake claim of you. Is it because he was just physically there? Yeah.
Right.
Anyways,
Jack says you need a sage to help guide you.
Right. And therefore, Jack and Xaden are brothers. So that's fun. And it makes sense about the end of Iron Flame where he's like, welcome to the family, like calls him brother, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So a few facts we learned during this POV. One, Panchek is a traitor. We don't know to what extent, but I knew the sneak Panchek was a bad guy. Okay, so that's confirmed. Also, Berwin is able to kill Panchek's dragon. Interesting. With a dagger. Also interesting.
Yeah.
Like how? Just how? Very, don't know. It's noted that the dragon is desiccates.
Yes.
What does that mean? Why do the venom all have some desiccating power?
Do we think Panchek turned venom and that's why his dragon desiccates? It doesn't say he dies.
Well, haven't venom always been able to kill dragons?
Oh, I don't know.
Not with a dagger.
I guess.
Not with.
Well,
the
how
dagger.
did Liam's dragon die?
He was stabbed with or hit. He was not stabbed with this type of dagger. It was different. Because Xaden, I think, when he said that's new in Xaden's POV, he's like, that's scary that they can do that.
Oh,
yeah. For some reason, I thought that the Liam's dragon died like a dragon to wyvern
attack.
It was a combat on the neck, I think.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, interesting. So I think there has to be more here. And again, this is another piece where we don't understand how venom die. We don't understand how they kill each other. We don't understand desiccation and the dragons and the things. So we'll, dig into that further in the next 2 years. All right. So another big piece here to set the scene of what a catalyst for Xaden. He is already in the emotional place for Sigale. And then this piece happens. So someone turned. Who turned is the biggest question right now. But let me just read you this quote and we'll get more on that later. So, quote is, I glanced past Berwin, past Sigale and the venom to my new brother, the unconscious dragon lying in the valley beyond the canyon, guarded by 7 wyvern. How could he do this? Choose this after watching me stumble and fall over the last 5 months. How could he willingly walk the path I've fought like hell to leave? He's the last person I ever would have expected to turn, and yet here we are. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot there. We're going to unpack who we actually think that is in a wee bit with some receipts, but that's just where we are. This is his mental place. And another piece of where Xaden is right now is this quote about Berwin. Again, going back to he's his maker. He's his venom daddy.
Daddy.
He says, I'd kill him if I could. Fuck, I thought I had, which at the end of Iron Flame, yes, we all knew it wasn't true, but sure. Okay. Yeah. I thought I had. I wonder how many initiates feel the same about their sage. At least one that I know of.
Who's that?
What? Yeah. What do you mean?
Jack?
Jack doesn't want to kill him. Jack
he loves him.
That's
so what other venom initiate is he in contact with? Does he know? We don't know. At least one that I know of. But beyond the physical impossibility of it, he has something I need. Also, what does he have?
There are
sorry. So is Xaden saying he can't physically kill Berwin?
Yeah. I don't think he can.
It's physically impossible.
Super.
Yeah. It's literally like a vampire. Vampires can't kill their makers.
It's super.
If we're really going to stick with the lore.
Also, this would make Violet, of course, didn't turn. But there is something, the piece of this, of Theophany and Berwin battling for Violet. Then Violet couldn't have killed either of them. She would have been physically impossible for her to kill her sage. Do you need a sage? Do you have to be venom to have a sage? Is Theophany somehow, what is this barrier to choosing your sage? Like, did she somehow choose Theophany and therefore she didn't actually kill Theophany because it was physically impossible? I don't know.
Well, she didn't, but she didn't turn, so she could have killed Theo.
Okay, you're right. Because Theophany and Berwin were like, come turn and then I'll teach you.
Yeah,
your
and I
ways.
don't think
Okay,
I
got
think
it,
the reason
got it.
why Xaden can't kill him is because he's Venom. It's like turning vampire.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Interesting.
But
what does he have that
what does he
Xaden
have?
needs?
That is the big.
And
there are so many questions, but that is a big one.
Who's the other initiate that can't kill their sage?
Yes, who? He's like, one that I know of feels that way about his sage. It's not
wants
Jack.
to kill their sage. Yeah. There is another person who's Venom that Xaden has been talking to that's an initiate.
And we've just been keeping this from everybody?
Yeah, I don't love.
Damn it, Xaden. Anna's brain is my brain is orchiding.
Unless Jack somehow told him that he wants to kill Berwin.
I mean,
but
I
don't
can see
think so.
Jack being very anti being told what to do.
Maybe he wants to kill him to like take his place.
Yeah. I can see Jack being like, don't tell me what to lead me when I'm in the mood to be led, which is never. And he's wanted the power, but now he's like, yeah, I'm glad I'm Venom, but I also don't want to have to answer to this sage dude.
Or even it just being kind of out of context, him saying, oh yeah, no, Berwin's both are dads now, and him being like, I'll see about that, I'll kill him, and Jack's like, good luck with that, you actually can't, I've tried. Like,
interesting.
Out of context.
Sure.
Where then,
Love
so
because it can't be the person that just turned, because that person just turned, and Xaden is discovering this along with the reader. So Xaden has not.
It can't be that person.
It can't be that person.
And we know this is an initiate. It's a new person. It's an initiate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh dear, here is what really does it for Xaden. This is what really pushes him over the edge. And it is, of course, Sigale, which is his first love, because as we found out in this book, a writer's first love is their dragon. And so the sage threatens to kill Sigale, and Xaden absolutely loses it. He says, how fucking dare they pull my dragon from the sky, snare and hurt the one who anchors my existence. I throw my blades into the air, fall to one knee, splay my hand over the canyon floor, and break. In my final act of resistance, I become the very thing I despise. Shadow streams through the canyon, thick as tar and black as ink, blacking out the afternoon sun. Afternoon, let's pin that for later. Timing, and turning the space pitch black. This is terrifying. Shadow plants my daggers in the chests of the two Venom standing guard. Shadow drags Berwin from Sigale and knocks both him and my new brother unconscious. My soul departs like a piece of ash from a fire, flaking free and drifting away as power consumes the space it once inhabited. I'm no longer on the ice. I am the ice.
Oh my God, is that good?
It was like terrifying and also like kind of sexy, just like watching him go to the
I need you guys to just picture this in your head, okay? Like they threaten Sigale, and this exact like movement of him, he throws the knives, drops to one knee, and lands his hand down.
Slams
Like
his hand down.
that in his anger, just like how dare you? And he's just like, bam!
with shadows rippling.
And the shadows just erupt. Like
this is
oh my God,
Like,
the imagery.
talk about a movie moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Here for it.
Love it. So
Okay.
this part continues with Xaden channeling, and his extraordinary power surges across the battlefield, and it wipes out the enemy. He makes note of the people Violet cares about, and his magic does not touch him. Isn't that nice?
I know.
That he's still in there. He's still
He's
in
still
there.
in there.
That's
Hey,
right. So there's
he
a
didn't
piece
cross
of
the
him-
line.
That's right. He did not cross the line. And this is what he says about Violet. I love her. That is the emotion I cling to, the fire of pure power burning at the feeling's edges. And I know if I take it any further, it will be the next and final piece to float away. I bare my teeth and yank my hand from the ground, gasping for a full breath as my heart thunders. So guys, he is officially not an initiate anymore. He has ascended with this major
Oh, I
pull.
thought I thought he was an ASIM already. No, this makes him an ASIM. Got it.
Correct.
Okay,
This
got
makes
it.
him an Yeah, it's
Yes.
noted earlier because I thought that too, Kristina.
Yeah.
Kim corrected me. She was like, no, he's initiate.
Yeah,
okay,
yes,
got it,
because
got it,
Violet brings
okay.
it up to keep us in that he's still an initiate. But this obviously is a huge pull.
We're done. Yeah.
We're done. And he knows that he can't go back to Navarre or anywhere. He has to
He
flee.
has red eyes forever now. Yeah.
He has red eyes forever. And Sigale's
and
like,
the veins.
you have red veins on your temples, and there's no fish. He can't hide it anymore. He's going to have to come out. Okay, guys, this conversation, we have to break this down because.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's break it down.
Okay, so Xaden says to Sigale, she'll help. It comes out with a hell of a lot more certainty than I feel. She promised. Okay. Sigale says, even if she agrees, no one will. Okay.
She gets cut off.
She gets cut off. Oh, dear. Of course, because of course she does.
Of course she does.
And Xaden says, someone owes me a favor. Okay.
All right, let's break these down.
So
Yeah.
we
Kim,
think
give
that
us the receipts.
So we think that the she promised is Violet's promise to Xaden about protecting Tyrandor. Okay? Xaden says this earlier in the book to Violet. It's not fair and you might hate me for it later, but I need you to make me a promise. Swear you'll sound the alarm if I go too far, that you'll keep it safe even if it's from me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Violet reaffirms that promise to Llewellyn. Is that how you say it?
Llewellyn.
Hate that. Love it. Okay. Llewellyn.
Zach is currently reading this book, and he was like, is Llewellyn a person? Is it a place? Who the fuck is Llewellyn? And I was like,
There's a big thing on the internet that's like, it is actually both.
It's like in the historical times where you became the Duke of Cambridge,
right.
and everyone called you Cambridge because
just putting Duke in there would have been helpful. Yeah,
exactly. Would have been nice.
Exactly. Yes.
Sure.
I thought that Llewellyn was also where they grew up. I thought this was also Liam's, the person who raised him and Liam for a minute too. So like, that's also wrong. No, that's someone else.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Even more confusing.
I don't know any of what you're talking about. So fantastic. I'm great. Okay. So the favor that Xaden says, someone owes me a favor. We put these pieces together that the High Priestess of Dune wrote a letter to Xaden, and this is what was in the letter. The High Priestess of Dune's temple has written to say that Dune holds you and Rhiannon in her regard, and that she is in my debt and owes me whatever favor I see fit.
Heavenly fire, but I will accept.
I love it because isn't this because that they defended the temple?
Because they listened to and Darna listened to Arik.
That's right. And Darna listened to Arik, and they defended the temple of Dune. And so the High Priestess of Dune wrote to Xaden, is like, here you go, here's a favor. And Xaden's like, perfect timing. I would love to take you up on that offer.
Yes.
Perfect timing. Not but 24 hours later, I think I'm going to have to use
Exactly.
this.
We're going to cash this in real fast. Okay, Anna, run us through the final chapter, which is blowing everyone's minds.
I'm going to run through this, and then we're going to break it down.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay. Violet wakes up in the courtyard in Aetia. It has been 12 hours. It was afternoon when Xaden goes apeshit with his, with his shadows. And when she wakes up, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. It's been 12 hours, okay? And Darna is there, and she says, I will not let them burn you. Okay. We know that Taryn is also in a deep sleep, quote, a cycle of rest to recover. Okay, so these are all things to be fact. So we also know that they got sneak married, okay? We have the official decree from the Priestess of Dune, and Violet is wearing an emerald ring. The stone that's missing from the dagger of Aetia that is in Xaden's room in the little clear box that came from the God of Luck Island, okay? Imogen has wiped the memories. She turns to Imogen and she says, what have you done? And Imogen says, what you asked me to do. So Imogen's signet is to wipe memories. So we think that she did this because Violet and Xaden, we're going to get to it, Violet and Xaden in those 12 hours accomplished probably quite a bit besides their little sneak marriage. But I think that is plausible deniability, which is the reason that Violet asked for her memories to be erased, because Brennan is asking, where is Xaden? Where is he? And everybody is blaming Xaden for the shadows, because now the shadows were out of control, guys. They might not have hurt the humans, but we have 6 eggs missing, and we have all of a sudden the wyverns, the venom are gone and dead, and it's Xaden's shadows that took over the entire city. Okay?
So everything bad that happened, they now think is Xaden's. It was Xaden. It was Xaden. Everything bad was Xaden.
So Brendan is like, where is Xaden? Where is Xaden? And Violet can't remember. So we think the reason her memories were wiped was plausible deniability. Okay? So now let's go back a little bit. Kristina was going through earlier, and it was Xaden's POV, and he sees the person who turned, right?
Yeah.
How could he do this? We know it's a man, a male. How could he do this? He's watched me struggle for the last 5 months, so it has to be either Garrick or Bodhi, because Riddick did not know.
For 5 months.
So I need you to understand, when they were in the Isle Kingdoms, it was a week or so before Xaden's birthday, which is March 31st, I think. It's at the end of March is his birthday.
It is, yeah.
And then this battle happens in May, if you do the timing with the amount of weeks that have passed. So it can't be Riddick or Sawyer, okay? So it has to be either Bodhi or Garrick. Now, why would Xaden need to sneak marry Violet? We could argue that it's because it offers her protection, like he says in Deverelli around before they go see King Cortland. He says, "Well, if you're my consort, it offers you protections."
Yeah.
Could it be as simple as that? But
no,
we think it's Bodhi, because if Bodhi is not there to be heir and Xaden is not there in the epigraph, and if we lose both him and Ryerson, Tyrrendor falls to whomever the king appoints. I'd rather die than see an Avarian aristocrat on the burned throne Mom and Katrina died defending. Imogen says that, okay? So that means that if both Bodhi and Xaden are dead, Team Tari can appoint whoever they want. Tirandor is the largest province, province in Navarre. They have the biggest resources. They have Taladium. They control the army that resides in Tirandor. That's in all the epigraphs. So it makes sense for Xaden to want to sneak marry Violet if that somehow allows her to then become the ruler, the Duchess, in his stead.
Yep. Totally agree.
So I think...
And the reason he would, need to do that is if the
Bodhi
person
was
he had
the
been
one.
grooming is no longer able to do that.
And this goes back to people are like, well, but Garrick is missing at the end of the book. And he's the only one that's quoted to be said missing, okay? But here's the thing, is Rebecca said in one of her interviews, she said, I want you to look back and look at who never feels like they are enough. That's what she said about the person who turned.
Well, it's Bodhi.
It's
100%.
It's obviously Bodhi.
Because Kim, what's his song? The Taylor Swift song for Bodhi? Do you remember?
Oh, I look at
Looking in
people's
windows.
window.
I look in
Exactly.
people's windows.
Yeah.
Also, he says, there's so much that also Theophany says to him. Theophany
Yeah.
says, like, aren't you sick of being, I can't remember exactly, is it in
He
here?
says, tell
says
me,
it right
do
here,
you-
yeah.
She says, tell me, do you not grow tired of being a less powerful version of your cousin?
I mean, if that's not telling,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
And also,
like,
the last time we see him, he's on his hands and knees. It is said that he's throwing up, but maybe he's not. I don't know. Yeah.
His dragon also was, one could argue, fatally injured. And as we know, Xaden turned to save Sigale. Why wouldn't Bodhi turn? Also, his signet does not work. He's actually visibly upset about this. He says, my signet is always the balance. Like, why is it not working?
Yeah.
And in the very first chapter, Brennan comes in. He's like, hey, we need you. We need to talk to, he's pointing to somebody else. And Bodhi literally says, oh, what can I do to help? And he says, you're not needed.
Oof.
And Bodhi's like, he literally says, good to feel needed. And like walks out.
Oh, rough.
I'm telling you, it's like,
I just think it just makes so much sense to me.
it makes sense.
I think that my main sticking point is the sneak marry. We talked so much about Bodhi being like, I need you to be heir. You need to be able to sit on the throne. You have to be able to sit on the throne. And that was the backup plan. So the reason that like this all has to happen makes sense because the backup plan's shot. So now we have to have the backup plan.
Exactly.
Like, it just
this
makes
is
so much
plan
sense.
C. And this was throughout the book. They argued about it all the time.
Yes.
Bodhi very much was like, no, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. And so that would make sense to me is Bodhi never wanted to be the heir and he never wanted to sit on the throne anyway. So he probably was like, if I have to turn to fix things and do what I need to do, then fuck it. Ryerson will figure it out.
Which one of you read the quote where he says, I am a writer and I will always be by your side because that is where I'm supposed to be. So why wouldn't he turn to be by Xaden's side?
Well,
it's
I have
misguided,
two things I want to say
but-
here. One, in the talkback that we saw when someone asked her very silly, what would everyone order at a bar? And Rebecca's answer was Xaden would get a beer and Bodhi would get a beer because Xaden got a beer.
Did. Oh yeah, so many people commented that on that video and they were like, did everyone hear what she said about Bodhi?
Yeah,
Bodhi? It's like, yep, we sure did.
Also, but I feel like, is there a thing that he thought he was being valiant and he saw something happen to Sigale and what happened to Xaden and he was like, no, it's okay. I don't want you to go to ASIM. I'm going to go to Initiate so I can save you. And then
I don't think it's
he was like,
power.
no, I'm going to go ASIM to initiate you. And it was like, no, we both, and if Bodhi wakes up, he's like, no, we both could have been Initiate and kept it on the DL. We just would have done it together. And he's like, well, no, I wasn't aware of that. So now we're.
Yeah, you didn't actually run that plan by me. Something else that people have said is that in the note that Xaden leaves for Violet, that Xaden says, don't look for me, it's yours now. And people said, well, he can't be referring to Tirandor because he always refers to Tirandor as she.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah.
When he makes Violet promise to protect Tirandor earlier in the book, he uses the word it. He does not use the word she.
Yes.
And I think that's very telling in this specific quote about the promise to take care of it, you know?
It's yours now. And I think that's what he means. We got sneak married. You don't remember it.
Yep.
It's yours now.
Yep.
And uphold your promise.
How devastating too but we know just in those 12 hours that they must have said goodbye. They must have done this whole big emotional goodbye, this is our plan and you're not going to remember it and it's going to be really hard, but this is the thing. But they had those moments and then him having to write, but all I can actually have you know and remember is don't look for me.
It's
and
yours now.
It's yours.
Where did he go? Like, did he? Okay, so hold on. So a few other things at the ending here. 6 eggs are missing, okay?
Yeah.
And Garrick says, one of Garrick's last lines is, I can't walk again, meaning he can't use his distance walker. He's burnt out. Even if I made it to Eratia, I'd never be strong enough to get back, meaning get back to Drathis and help fight. He turns and looks over his shoulder to Imogen. So I'd better find some fucking way to do something. People have thought that this means Garrick is the one that turned, but I think he's not there. I think he went somewhere.
Yeah.
I think
it's a red herring.
I wonder, guys.
I think he might. Go ahead.
What if he took the eggs?
That's what I was thinking. What if he took them and he's going to like barter them with maybe the Earids or with someone? Oh my God. What if he took them to the queen that wanted the eggs?
Yes.
Because he was there. No. He knows that they wanted 12 eggs and he says, best I can do is 6.
Best I can give you 6.
Best I can do is 6. I wonder if
it was a tough situation. I
had to
grabbed what I
steal
could.
them fast. But then he distance walked them to her because what they were there to ask for was an army. Was help.
Allyship, yeah.
Was allies.
And she said, I'm not doing it without dragon eggs.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, well,
maybe he took them and he walked them over there and then was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I think this is it.
I don't love that.
Also, who else is missing?
We don't know. It's 3 unnamed people.
It can't be Imogen.
Nope.
And we from like where people
Quinn's
actually
dead.
have fallen, I don't think it's Rihanna and Sawyer and Riddick.
Mira's recovering. Brennan's alive. Imogen's alive.
Like we see Imogen at the end. She's not gone. You know?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Imogen's alive.
Right.
She's there. Riddick. I think she checks on everybody. She says the people's names, and doesn't she at the end of the book? Doesn't she ask him?
I have zero memory of that, but
Because like, okay, maybe they don't know Quinn died. Fine, maybe that's one. But Dain would have told, or like, you know,
Imogen, yeah, someone would have said something.
I'm just wondering if some people went with Garrick is what I'm wondering. Like, are people in this with Garrick, and that's why we're kind of grouping them together. Like, this many people are missing. So like Bodhi's one, but we think Venice.
Oh, I see what you're
Garrick
saying.
is gone.
Yeah.
But like, did 2 of the people go help him? Did this little crew, this mini squad, take the eggs and go do this?
Yeah. This is so interesting. I just don't know.
Or did Pancheck steal the eggs because he's evil?
Pancheck could be one missing.
Yeah, that was my first gut. It was Pancheck.
Yeah. Oh, okay, got it.
But it was just interesting that just the quote that Garrick says, like, what else would he do? My other thought was, did he somehow just distance walk to the archipelago and start yelling for Andarna? And then he was like, Andarna, we need you, because Andarna miraculously shows up. But how the hell did she get there?
Agreed.
If he can't distance walk.
And we know Andarna cannot fly.
I think she learned some Irid magic already. I think that she was like, my person needs me.
How much time has passed?
I think maybe time spans differently there. And that would explain how she could live in that damn egg for 650 years. I think something about time for her species of dragon
is
could
different.
exist in different ways. You know?
She could also speed up time.
And she could speed up time. Right. I think there's something with time and the
I
Irid
agree,
dragons.
Kristina.
And I think she already went and spent years of training. She's back and she's like, oh, I'm a professional Irid dragon now. So like,
yeah.
And what does she mean when she says, I won't let them burn you? What does that mean?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I took that as she is made, because Taryn and Sigale are mated. If Xaden turned, she would know, and that they would burn her as a traitor. Because that's what
Brennan
they do.
is going to let them do that?
I don't think. Well, Brendan's a human. I don't know that like he could overrule.
Oh, you think that the dragons would burn
dragons.
Violet?
Oh no! Well, I'm just saying, like, or Melgren would get notified, and somehow that, because if Xaden's missing, but if she knew where he was, that's why I think the plausible ability. And Andarna's like, I will, and she's protecting her because Taryn is asleep. Which
and people are really nervous about why.
I wonder if they had to break the bond, because how else can they be separated for so long?
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
I hate it.
I also just don't. We're breaking a lot of bonds, guys. We're breaking a lot of bonds, and I really don't like it. And I want
Also,
the group chat to be back together.
So Vin don't have dragons.
No.
You can't, right. But Jack still had his dragon.
Yeah, that's why
Until
I
he
thought
killed
if
it.
Pancheck turned and his dragon died, that doesn't necessarily mean he died, because Jack did not die when Bade died.
So do we think that Xaden, that had to have been a conversation in the 12 hours. In that 12 hours as well, they all had to have sat and be like, what do we do here? So Sigale can't come back, and she's going to be in trouble. And then Taryn can't, like, what do we all do?
Yeah.
That's I think why the...
Oh, I hate that.
I hate it. I also, okay, so moving on from that not really quick, but moving on from that to the Dreamwalker aspect.
Yeah,
I
let's
do
talk about
think
that.
everyone's like freaking out because they're going to be separated. I think Violet, we've already seen that Berwyn is able to dreamwalk into other, if he is the sage that is dreamwalking, and that's also a signet that he has, if we're correct on that. He's able to do it across great distances. Violet has shown already that she's able to dreamwalk specifically only into Xaden's dreams across great distances. Not only that, but listen. She says in the dream where she's in Xaden's dreams, she's screaming his name to wake up. Xaden, I shout before he can make it a half a dozen steps. He stops, then slowly turns to face me in the grass-covered field. His eyes widen when he spots me, then narrow as he glances left and right. You shouldn't be here. You aren't safe. Like he knows. He says, I feel, later on when he wakes up, he's like, I could feel someone in my dream. Then he shakes his head and stalks towards me. I take his ice cold hand in mine, then startle. I can feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I do think that we're going to see her dreamwalking in Xaden's dreams in the next book, and that is going to be how they communicate.
Agreed. I'm going to hate it, but I agree with you.
Yep.
I have a logistical question about Berwyn. Okay. So he was a sage. He's been referenced as a sage in the first 2 books until the end of Iron Flame, where then he says, I'm not a sage, I'm a maven, a general.
He says, I'm a general. He doesn't use the word maven.
But don't we think that, isn't it like in the breakdown that mavens are generals? Isn't it?
That's how it's described as a comparison, that the mavens are like the generals. But he calls himself a general. He doesn't say, I'm a maven.
Okay.
And when Violet refers to Theophany, she refers to her as a maven.
Interesting.
So I think Berwyn's a little big for his britches.
Yeah.
See, I took that to mean that he's a maven. He's like, you guys thought I was a sage, you're wrong.
That's what I think we were supposed to think, which is why I didn't think he died at the end of the last book, because it's supposedly impossible to kill a maven.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But he's referred to as a sage throughout all of the dreams. And then when Xaden sees him, he says, like, I thought I killed you.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. I thought that we all, including Xaden, thought he was a sage. Because we've never seen a maven, so we don't know what they look like. Right. And then he corrected, and so now we know he is maybe a maven. Yeah, okay.
No.
Interesting.
I know, I don't think he's a maven.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Because Xaden refers to him as a sage, and Theophany refers to him as a sage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that he was, I didn't know he was referred to as a sage in Onyx Storm. I thought that after he
he's
said
referred
that
to as a sage
got it.
exclusively.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Sage.
I thought that was just until he corrected. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, guys, that's it. That's
wow.
I mean, we have so many other things we could go on about, and you can join us on Patreon, actually. When this episode comes out, this will be a few weeks from when we've recorded, but this weekend, we are all getting together, and we're doing a little girls, like, book bestie weekend.
Yeah.
And then we have a special episode that'll be out for Patreon, all tiers, where we're going to be discussing theories and Onyx Storm thoughts and stuff.
Yeah.
So head over there.
Yes.
It'll already be out.
Yeah, it'll already
when
be
this
out.
Episode is released.
A very fun Empyrean Q&A. So yeah, check out that over there. And of course, like, we have a ton of chapter chats that we did as we read this book, if you want to see our thoughts more in real time. And I'm sure we will probably be hopping on and doing more things because we just can't stop talking about it. And it's going to be at least 2 years before we get another book. And so we just... We've got to talk about it.
We have nothing to do but spiral with our thoughts.
Exactly.
Precisely. So join us, won't you?
Yeah. Join us. Yeah, but thank you
for
guys
being
so
here with
much.
us.
Yes,
this was
we love
so
you guys.
fun. We love this book so much, and we can't wait to dive into it more as we go.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.